Hey, all right, welcome to the show. Welcome to the Wrestling Talk Podcast. Classic Chris here, and I'm with a good friend of mine, former colleague of mine, worked at Crossfire together. I'm here with the lead commentator from Hogtown Wrestling. I'm here with Hutch Henries.
I'm
How
doing
you doing,
good,
buddy?
man. I am feeling good after WrestleMania weekend.
Yes, that's what we're here to talk about today. Today we are talking WrestleMania, and shit, last night was a very interesting show. To me, Roman Reigns Taker, that we're going to get to that. A lot of people were not happy at that match, but we'll get to that. But to me, I think this WrestleMania wasn't that bad, considering like WrestleMania's past and everything, like, you know, the past couple of years. I figured with the stage they had and everything, I figured that with the players they had going, it was a good show. Hutch, what did you think of
it was
WrestleMania?
certainly entertaining. You know, Mania is so... It almost seems like some of the matches are, not real. It's, weird. Like, they don't seem as intimate, so they seem kind of... I don't know. It's hard to comment on them. But in general, this was a very entertaining Mania. I went out to a bar, which I don't do for a lot of pay-per-views, but Mania is always great when you're surrounded by people flipping out. Mm-hmm. So, you know, AJ Styles and Shane McMahon put on a much better match than anyone expected, I think. Shane sucks at selling and at striking, but in general, AJ did everything he could to make that match amazing. And to start off the show, the bar I was in was popping like freaking crazy. So it was a good way to start up.
Well, yes, that's the thing too with AJ Styles versus Shane McMahon. Like, a lot of people are going into this, so like, oh fuck, what the hell is Styles doing taking on Shane McMahon? But if everyone knows Shane McMahon, that guy can actually go in the ring. Like him with Undertaker last year. Like, Shane did a lot of that. Did a lot for that match that people don't give him credit for. Like, a lot of people give Taker the credit, but last night he had AJ Styles, who's arguably the best worker.
He's the best worker right now in WWE. Like, I don't think there's a debate about it. Yeah.
Oh, hands down. And they put on a good quality match. Like, it was believable, and I was very entertained by it. And that is huge for Styles because, hey, you worked with Vince's boy. That's going to help get you, because he's next in line for the title picture again. He's going to right back into it after this match.
Well, you know, a lot of the times, like the question you asked me, what do you think of Mania? I don't go on social media. I don't often give big, long rants or opinions about stuff.
Yeah.
You know, the very first time I ever went to the movie theater a long time ago to go see X-Men and Bryan Singer's X-Men, and all my friends were so pissed off and in a rage about how absolutely awful and how blasphemous it was, and I remember being like, I tried to be invested in it emotionally. So I take the Bryan Singer's X-Men approach to a lot of WWE programming in general, especially as a man who's been booking for a while for a company, and before that, seen the inner workings of problems. Things happen. Things change. You know, try not to be opinionated about it too much. When WWE does something, I always try and think, okay, this is not what I thought. This is not what I think they should do. Like, there's like what I think they're going to do and what I think they should do, and they didn't do either of those. They did this fucking shit. Okay, there's got to be a reason. And a lot of the times you think about it. My prime example, it only took me about 20 minutes for it to really sink in when I was all like, well, of course they had Roman Reigns come out as number 30 at the Rumble. Like, he's got the magic wand of fucking heat. They needed somebody to have the most massive heat in the world so they could have currently a heel go over in the Rumble and get cheered. So they were like, what? Hey, Roman, pat him on the back. We're going to use your magic powers, dude. We're not announcing you. We're not doing anything. We're throwing you out as number 30. You're going to get so much fucking heat with your magic heat wand, and people are going to cheer the shit out of Roman when he wins, even though we've been pushing him as a heel for 8 months. This is going to be awesome. Go do your thing, kiddo.
Yeah.
That's
the thing. Like, even last night, sorry to interrupt, but that's even the thing with last night. John Cena, Miz became a babyface last night. And that's the thing too, like with Roman Reigns, like, yes, you're right with that magic wand of like him. Just people just don't want to see him as the top guy, and he will just generally get people over, and that's because they just don't want to see Roman Reigns as the top guy.
But it's unfortunate how he got to this spot. They kind of pushed him too fast. They did the wrong things with him, you know. And even me giving that opinion is like, it's weird. Should they turn him heel? Should they not turn him heel? They should definitely be doing something with this Usos angle. I mean, the Usos were hot when they won the title on SmackDown. Yeah. If they put him to SmackDown or have him go heel,
you're right.
They can definitely go the way they did with The Rock, especially since he's a bloody Samoan, for Christ's sake. The Rock was fucking Rocky Maivia, and then he was all like, Die,
Yes.
Rocky, die. That's what you all say to me. Die, Rocky, die. And then he went bad. Roman Reigns could finally be like, you know what? I'm fucking rich. I've been 3-4-time champion. This is my freaking yard. All y'all boo me all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you. You know, fuck you. Here's my boys, the Usos. I'm sorry to swear in your podcast, man. But that should be the man.
It's okay. I swear all the time.
Really. But hey, if they don't do that, I'm sure they've got
Mm-hmm.
their reasons why. Maybe he's the biggest, their merch side of it. They're like, man, Reigns is one of our top 3 merch guys, right?
He is.
So,
Well, excluding John Cena, Roman Reigns is their top guy. Like if you take John Cena away, and that's why there's so much behind him. But to me, I think they really missed the boat. Do you remember back when Batista won the Royal Rumble? Roman Reigns was the second last guy left. It was Batista and Roman Reigns, and the crowd was so behind Roman Reigns. That is when you
that would have seemed early.
Because
I remember
right
thinking,
there,
wow, if Reigns
yes.
wins here, this is a pretty big early push for this kid. But the whole thing,
yes, but it would have been huge because the crowd was with him. Like you had to quote have you ever seen the TV show Spartacus?
No, I don't watch a lot of TV.
Okay, well, it was a great TV show that they talked about Spartacus, and the one fight he went out and he fought the fucking champion and got his ass kicked, and the guy that owned Spartacus, because Spartacus was a slave, he's like, you had the fucking crowd. What were you thinking? Like the crowd's behind you, and the way the crowd is, if you have them, you fucking run with that because attentions nowadays they last a nanosecond. Like just like that, you could be the most hated guy in the company.
Absolutely true. I mean, the whole Batista thing, there'd be a guy out there who I'd want to kill if I was Batista, if you really think about it. Back in, he was just around November-ish, I think, or just before that, whatever month comes before November. It was the year before that Rumble. Some arena released their schedule for WWE for February of the following year, of the shows that were going to be there. And Batista was on the card. So immediately, even though it was only up for like 24 hours, 12 hours or some shit, it all got kiboshed. It was up long enough.
It was up long enough.
Was all like, dude, Batista in the Rumble. So then what did they do? They did that quick push of like Batista back, and by December he was there in his fucking skivvies and his new outfits and talking to, saying, I'm going to win the Royal Rumble and all that shit. They basically were just on the, everybody knows, so let's not keep it. Imagine that arena had not released that schedule.
Yeah. Because he was supposed to be the surprise.
If he had been a surprise,
exactly,
they would have fucking lost their shit. If Batista came out completely unsaid, won the Rumble, it would have been a completely different world, and we would have WrestleMania.
And that's why you don't publish, like, if you have certain characters.
But as far as you thinking Reigns should have won that, fucked up the whole Daniel Bryan thing as well. So, quantum physics,
no, it would have.
Life
well,
works.
the original thing, though, the original thing, though, that WrestleMania 2, Triple H was supposed to face CM Punk.
We're not talking about that WrestleMania.
And that didn't happen either.
If
no,
you
want to
talk
this
about
WrestleMania,
last WrestleMania,
and,
I was a firm believer. That was one of the WrestleManias where everything I wanted was exactly what did not happen. I wanted Ambrose to go over on Lesnar. I wanted Triple H to retain against against
Roman Reigns. Everybody wanted that.
Shane McMahon to go over on Taker, but the end result still happened where he gained control. I was really hoping.
And I wanted AJ Styles to go over on Chris Jericho as well.
But in the end run, it would have been an amazing story if the next night on Raw, Shane McMahon is in charge because he beat the Taker, and he's all like, hey, Triple H, tonight, main event, the new era, Dean Ambrose against you. Dean Ambrose takes the belt. Roman Reigns comes out, hugs him. It's a big fucking reunion. Everybody's like congratulating the shit out of Dean Ambrose, his first title win. He's the champ. And they slowly, over the next week or so, build to the fact that Roman Reigns is number one contender, and these two best friends are going to fight at the next pay-per-view. Turn at that next pay-per-view. You try and somehow make it so that it's unexpected, but basically that's when he turns on his best friend, and he becomes heel.
He turns on... Yeah, he turns on a tag match after that first title match because you want the first title match to build up. Hey, I'm fighting one of my best friends here. It's going to be we're going to go out and fight, see who the better man is.
Mania never works out.
And then after, no. But you know what though? What you just said there makes sense, and a lot of times that doesn't happen with the company we're talking about. But last night though, that had to be Shane McMahon's best
and you know
wrestling
what? I
match.
don't care that Triple H is there and part timers are there and that Shane McMahon's there.
It's part-timers
Not just
fucking
that,
sell
it's
tickets.
their playground. It's their night. The hacker Scotty
It
O'Shea,
is.
wrestler who I work with quite often, he was posting all week how he couldn't stop watching all the videos they were putting out of them bringing helicopters in and stage parts and how massive it was and how awe-inspiring.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yeah, man, this is their playground. Let them go do their thing. You know, it's not like Shane McMahon is weak. It's not like Triple H is wrestling every freaking week, but they're not going to miss WrestleMania. It's their shtick. So deal with it.
And when you seen Triple H last night and Shane McMahon, they performed.
Night, he was like at his peak. He looks insane. He's a living barbarian, man. Who doesn't want to be him? I was all like, it's embarrassing to say, but I was like, dude, who doesn't want to be Triple H? Like right now, like look at this motherfucker. Like holy shit. You want to like eat rocks and spit them out and just be like, and I'm a millionaire. And fucking Lemmy's one of my best friends. I hire Lemmy to do shit for me before he died. He's like, I'm amazing.
He's done all my theme songs.
Yeah,
and now I got
insane.
Metallica.
He's like, it's awesome. Imagine being him. Like we can diss him. He's like, yeah, I might be a bit cheesy, but I'm fucking like, look who I am. Fuck you. This is awesome, and he looks awesome. Sorry, I'm sitting here smiling.
Like
When I saw him, and I was like, this fucking dude is insane. Look at him. Anyways, yeah, so it's their playground. Let them have fun.
Exactly. Like, and speaking of guys having fun, like that Jericho Kevin Owens match was awesome. I love the build going into that one. That was a good match.
Go through the pay-per-view to a degree. I don't know when I turned on the pre-show. First thing I saw was Cruiserweight title match. So from what I hear, that was the beginning.
Oh, that match. I was out. That match, I was actually pissed that it wasn't on
it
the
would have
main
given
show.
it a little more levity, but it was weird blowing in their hair and all the sun there. But it was a great match, and it was good that they kept the title strong. Like it would be great if they keep the title on him for months and months and months and months.
I understand too why they put it on the pre-show too, because if I was just a casual person just flipping through that came on, I watched that match. I'm like, you know what? That makes me want to get the network.
Yep.
That makes me want to, sign up for that free month.
The Battle Royal too. Every
now.
year it's super fun. Everybody talks about how the winner doesn't really mean anything, and their push goes nowhere and whatever.
Gronks.
But who cares about what really happens after the Battle Royal and if they don't capitalize on it? Sure, if they want to use it in a storyline to push you, but it's not like winning the Battle Royal should automatically make you anything. It was nice that Cesaro was super fun and that he was in a position where people felt like this should be the jump-off point for him to be the next star, but everybody loves Cesaro. In general, yeah.
Cesaro's awesome. That's when he became a Paul Heyman guy.
But in general, the match itself...
And that's what I'm excited for Raw tonight, though. Actually, because if you think about it, the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania is always the best Raw.
When I used to bootleg DVDs, I would always put the Raw after Mania on the DVD for Mania to be like, hey, and the next night's Raw is on here too. So people be like, sweet. But that's what I did. Shit, was I just about to say there about that? Oh, the match itself, the Battle Royal, is always fucking really fun. And this one, the best botch of the night happened in that.
No, to me, botch of the night happened in the Undertaker Roman Reigns match when Roman Reigns.
Yeah, you know what? A lot of times when you look bad, it's the other guy's fault.
I couldn't pick him up either, but
partially, it was both their faults. They were off balance. It's not like the Undertaker helped. He's old. It happened. They, in my opinion, they should not have booked that spot. I was like, every time they've done it in the past without the assistance of the ropes in some fashion, it's okay. They got it. So at his age and whatnot, but in that match, in the Battle Royal, the best botch of the entire night happened. And it was when the security guard, that shit was fucking awesome. And the best part was you could, even in the bar where I was, I watched that at home before I left for the bar. That's why I could hear it, because the bar is loud. You could very audibly, the referee's running up to the no, he's allowed to be here. And then turning to him and going like, hey, you get out of here, like right within like a 20-second period, both sentences were uttered, and I was like, that's fucking awesome. That's the best spot of the night there, and nobody topped it. And then that whole segment was way drawn out.
It made me laugh because she did that before too, with Maurice when she slapped who did she slap last year? Or when she slapped John, she did something. She hit somebody. Zack Ryder, when she slapped Zack Ryder last year, she was that security guard again.
Yeah, she just...
yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, it's part of the show. But you know what the funny thing is though? One of these times she's going to think it's part of the show.
Yeah,
and that's
maybe.
The one time it's not.
Who knows?
At least she was doing her
All
job, eh?
interacting with him beforehand and everything, that it had to be part of the show. But hey, man, if she's not a wrestling fan, she's just doing her job. She's probably all like, she's not watching it every week.
Hey, but on the indies, how many times do you see a guy grab someone's beverage and drink it, and they're not a part of the show?
Well, who knows? Bottom line is that was the best spot of the night. No, he's not be here. He's allowed to be here. Hey, you get out of here. You're not allowed to be here. I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I gotta watch it again to make sure that I did. But in my head, that's exactly what I heard and what I saw. I don't know if it was lips or whatever, but I was like, damn, that just happened.
Well, Charles Robinson went up to her like not too long after. Like I caught it right in the bottom of the screen. You see, he's going up to her. He's like,
everything's cool, honey. Everything's cool, honey. Don't worry. That's awesome.
Yeah. Like shit, she has a front row seat to the hottest ticket in Orlando. Actually, no, the hottest ticket was NXT.
The hottest ticket was probably freaking the Ring of Honor, Supercard of Honor. From what I hear, I have not seen that yet.
I didn't get to see that yet. Yeah, same here.
Had Evolve 80, Evolve 81, and the WWN Evolve versus Progress Super Show, which I think
Yeah.
Supposedly those were all fucking awesome. But ROH Supercard of Honor, where the Hardys defended their title, and I believe lost. I haven't seen it, but I assume they lost. That was supposedly off the hook, a ladder match. So 2 ladder matches, 2 days in a row on the 2 biggest shows, the 2 biggest indie promoters. At the start of the year as the TNA World Tag Team Champions. And now, as of last night, you've owned the tag titles for all the top flight shows of the 3 biggest promotions. Oh, my Lord, did they ever. And there's no way that you're not going to get a full-on delete obsolete promo on Raw coming up tonight. There's no way. You're getting he tried to kind of get everybody to calm down so he could get the audience to do the delete with him. He just did it once, and the whole audience went nuts, and then the match started. But tonight you're going to get them doing their shtick they do on the indies now, where they stop, they get the crowd to stop, and then fucking Jeff sings. Hopefully he doesn't sing, because it's kind of awful. But then they start to get the whole crowd to do the delete slat. So it's going to be pretty freaking awesome. And I don't think they're sweating too much of this.
But there's one problem with that, though.
Shit. Yeah.
I was just about to bring that up because ROH got cease and desist orders from...
company that Jeff Jarrett probably thinks he can push around, and he's evil for trying to stop people.
Hey, WWE did that to VC...
To Hogtown? Who, me?
Yeah. Wasn't people saying shit about
dude, man, it was a fucking work, man. You think WWE have you seen early VCW stuff when Hogtown was VCW?
C fans?
Yeah, and I have people
sometimes.
come up to me saying that, have you seen Southpaw Regional Wrestling? Dude, Lance Catamaran is you, or they've been watching your show, or the Sea Monster is your Gollum guy. And I'm like, listen, I appreciate that, and I love that you're a mark, but there is no way, and I want you to listen to me, look at me in the eyes. There isn't bloody hell that they are watching my show or copying my ideas. This is a very quantum physics, thought-oriented universe. So, I'm sure Trey and realize it. And I started doing something that they caught wind of as well, and they are doing it. But there is no way that they're watching my show and copying my ideas. Thank you for the confidence. But that's crazy. So, but it's nice to see that they have this product. I don't know.
Well, shit, well, if TNA ever did anything, WWE's lawyers.
Yeah, but that was a total work because Latin Lover.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm just keeping it professional.
It was fun. I'm glad that the minor that we came up with off the fly, it was a cease and desist order because we don't want to call him Latin Lover anymore because it's stupid. Or at least that's what we thought. And we're like, you're the lover. The lover's better. He's like, but I love Latins. And I'm like, yeah, but people think you're Latin, and it's obvious you're not Latin. Nobody gets it. Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I thought. No, I honestly thought, I thought he was Latin. He was,
yeah, if you have to explain the joke, it's not good. I'm like, you're the lover, okay? And your girlfriend's not Latin. Yes. So what? Your manager and this whole shtick is... All right, so we changed it.
Well, combine them, you make Latin, don't you? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. That was just a joke there, ladies and gentlemen, because you all know the podcast. You all know I joke.
Wow.
That was a joke.
I appreciate that you went directly into the 2016-17 mentality of oh wait, I've totally PC faux pod. Everybody understands I'm not really a racist.
Hey, you never know
Something
nowadays.
in the car last night. I was hanging out with the hip star. He was talking about Waylon Mercy character being Bray Wyatt and how it's too bad that it's all a copy. And I was like, dude, like, lay off. I mean, fucking.
Waylon Mercy wasn't over.
No, but
Bray
I'm like,
Wyatt
okay,
is
Waylon
big
Mercy's is
difference.
like it's a Dan Spivey repackage that had one pay-per-view appearance and it was around for about 6 to 8 months. Okay, don't just lay off of the fact that Bray Wyatt is completely useless and invalid because he's just a ripoff of Waylon Mercy. Like the hip star's like he's meaningless.
One you cut out there.
What was that? Did I cut out? You said?
Yeah. You cut out at one point just before the Zach Atticus saying,
yeah,
that he's
basically he's saying everything he does because he's a Waylon Mercy ripoff is meaningless. And I was like, you got to relax. And he's saying that Waylon Mercy and our cab driver's black, and I'm like, and basically.
Oh
well,
shit!
still,
you don't say that in a cab.
Like Zach's the guy who says this right in the same cab as the cab driver, and I'm in the front seat. And basically, I'm like, no, Zach, that guy's not a KKK member, and he's certainly not like the guy we're on our way to see. Right? Dummy. That's basically the conversation we're having. And he's all like, rah, and I'm like, sorry. I can see the cab driver's back stiffen a little bit. I'm like, oh, it's just up the street here. We're almost there. Yeah. So I don't know what got onto that, but they're not watching my show, and they did not send me a cease and desist order. That was a work.
I know, but that's just funny. You know, keeping it for the people that watch the show. You know, that people watch Hogtown.
Well, we were talking about. I don't think that
is
WWE is
keep up with that.
This lawsuit. Now, when they send it to ROH, it's because ROH is the same as them or lower than them, and of course TNA. We're talking Southern Tennessee ego trip guys. They're like, no, it's ours. It's obviously not yours. So even the fact that you think that is fucking bullshit. Yes, they used your medium as the first way of getting it over, but they have a lot of YouTube content, and it's obviously all produced by them on their own personal property and facility. You don't have a leg to stand on, in my opinion. But hey, they got expensive lawyers. But when it comes to WWE,
exactly,
I think the E's gonna squash this shit because just of the reasons I told you is enough for their super slick lawyers to get them off. But so I think we're gonna get a full-on like promo tomorrow. I don't know if they're gonna use the names. Tonight. Sorry, I don't know.
Tonight, you mean
they're
tonight?
Gonna use the names Broken Matt and Brother Nero specifically because that might just be inviting trouble until they've gotten it under the carpet. But I don't think anything about their shtick vocally is going to change at all.
I came up with some jokes last night. I'm like, you don't have to call him Broken Hardy. You could call him the Chipped Matt Hardy, the Shattered Matt Hardy. Like, just different jokes.
He can't use Broken Brilliance.
For the
but as far as I have heard, and I've seen some indie stuff, they're calling him the Nefarious Nero now, if they can get away with it. But now the lawyers, and the lawyers are saying you can't use the name Nero.
It's not brother.
I saw an interview. Yeah,
but he's not using Nero.
Yeah, it's his
Nero's
real name though. In real
name.
life, it's his fucking middle name.
Exactly.
His name is Jeffrey Nero Hardy. Give me a break.
Oh shit.
So I don't think they're going to sweat it. I think we're going to get a great promo tonight out of them. Yeah.
Oh, Hardy's fucking awesome. But like all in all, like I think it was a good weekend. Wrestling was all over the place. WWE they put on a good show last night. Considering what they're
Did it seem to you like Angle was waiting for fireworks that didn't go off? Like he put his fingers in the air, and you were expecting the fireworks to go around the top of the building, like they did with Reigns last year or something like that. But it didn't happen, and you're like, "Is this a fuck up? Like what's going on?" And then you're just like, "You think so?"
No, it was a fuck up for sure because, because last night, I'm not sure if it was just my feed or what it was, but a lot of times commentary was getting cut out. Even at one time, they're introducing the Russian commentators. And they were talking.
Yeah, well,
that's
okay. We're talking a massive mixing board.
So
you've got mics everywhere picking up the crowd, commentary guys.
No, I know. But I'm just saying though. For a company though that does this on a regular every pay-per-view and stuff like that, for them to forget.
But this is not a regular pay-per-view. The scope of this is so freaking massive. They set up pay-per-views in a day.
Yeah,
regularly.
but they announce all these people in every pay-per-view to not have their mic on or labeled properly. That just says
I guess so. For somebody
it's Orlando. Someone probably had some tequila. They had the Cuervo Silver, whatever.
Hey, I have done a lot of shows from the production. I've done a lot of plays, Stratford. I've done Soul Pepper. I've done a lot of wrestling shows in front of the mic. I've been running backstage, running stuff while still running out for the matches and doing commentary on a computer. Things happen. The most simple of things that you think you have covered don't happen. I'm sure that it's like everything's going to a plan, and some dude's like, hey, I'm like, you can hear the Russians yourself, and you're like, everything, and you're like, hey, live feed, they can't hear the Russians. And you're like, what? What do you mean live feed? Okay, oh, shit, now they already moved on. You're listening to everything, and you don't know what's going out on stage. When you watch a rock concert, what you hear is not what the band hears at all. I mean, there is so much happening, and I'm sure that with their prepackaged units and everything that they just drive up and unpack at these arenas for their regular shows, I'm sure it's smooth sailing. But for WrestleMania, dude, I am sure that there was a lot more problems that we just did not see on camera, and I think that's something pretty minor for you to harp on in any fashion. That's just me personally, okay?
Hey, I can harp on a lot of things. Like, the one thing that bugged me was the damn poster that it's like a Where's Waldo when you have to look for AJ Styles, because I'm a big AJ Styles
but like
fan.
I said, it's their playground. Let them do what they want.
The guy was champion for over a year.
So, you know what?
There's
so many more things to complain about. I guess we could talk about that, but it's over. It's done with. WrestleMania's over. We're not complaining about the poster.
Okay, yeah, exactly. So to me, what was your favorite match of WrestleMania? Or the whole weekend? What was your match?
All right, I'll tell you.
What was the match?
The reason I got take the Mick Foley aspect of it. Use it in, like, I think he's already done that. Use it in your promos. Be like, I'm at the back of the poster. I thought that, and then he did it on one SmackDown anyway. So this is just more fodder for I'm the best there is, and I don't get recognition.
That's what you got to do.
And this is why I'm a heel, because even though you love me. So they need that shit. So it's all good. Favorite match? Let me think. I was at a bar talking and drinking and paying attention. I think if I had to go for the entire weekend, I watched NXT and I watched Mania.
Yeah. Yeah, just so do you watch. Like, we won't include ROH because I didn't see that show yet.
I've seen a portion of one of the Evolve shows, and I will watch them, but I haven't had the chance, obviously, to watch all that shit.
Yeah, so we'll just keep it WWE, NXT.
Well, I think if I had to really be honest, my favorite match might be one of the ones we haven't spoken about. Goldberg and Lesnar. That match was booked perfectly. With the exception of the Hardys coming out and the entire bar popping like I have not heard, and that being definitely the biggest reaction of the entire night for anybody. The Lesnar match was fucking wicked, man. Fucking the Germans and then him getting up and spearing him and no-selling it like Hawk from the Warriors. Like, bam! Like, I loved it. That match was great, and I remember thinking back to the feeling I had. I have that same feeling where I want to go and watch that minute and 22 seconds about 5 or 6 times. Now I want to go watch this 5-minute main event a few times. Yeah. I've actually queued it up here to watch while we were talking, and I just haven't pressed play because I thought this is the one I want to see. Did I pay...
They made amends for that.
Rewatching bits of it this morning with commentary and the crowd reactions much better.
Yeah.
Man, that tag ass loves to just throw that boot up back there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Hardy's
oh
yeah,
Hardy's and the match they had they're hurting from that, and they still put on a performance, so that's great, and won the belts. So that was a great match.
Well, like when they came out, as soon as they came out, it's like that's who's winning tonight. There's no way you have a 4-team ladder match with the Hardys in it and they do not go over, especially when it's their first night back. Fuck yeah. The Hardys, their stock has never been higher.
You know, Enzo and Cass can keep this for a while, and they'd be great pieces as well. You know, a lot of personality there.
But I want to see Anderson and Gallows against the Hardys. I think that's going to be one of the best tag team feuds that WWE has, and then like a
lot of good stuff.
Like that's going to be the best feud
coming up.
Hardys in the club.
Let's try and think more about the event. I didn't actually watch the women's match, but here's a good thing: very long show. I think we're talking midnight.
Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah. Like we're not going to go through like every single match. We're just going to go over
a lot of people are complaining
the good stuff.
Taker being the main event. Official retirement now, it had to be, but it was the Brock match I'm with is a lot older than home, fucking sitting on your couch with a beer in your hand, watching the main event before we even get let's go. And I was very pleasantly surprised to get home and see raising the title above her head, and I'm like, great, I missed that match. Naomi won her belt, and I still get to see the entire freak. I still had enough time to ignore Undertaker's entrance and go make myself like a chill out for a while before I came and sat down and watched the match. Was what it was. Better.
Yeah. Exactly. A lot
it's
of matches are
unfortunate
like
because
that.
Taker, he's taking a lot of heat for how he looks and how he's working. He is old, obviously, but the
He's like in his 50s.
surgery, and he was performing well before that. He was doing. I think that if he hadn't had the problem so bad to the point that he had to have surgery and could have waited the extra year, that he would have performed better. But obviously, he couldn't wait.
Yeah.
Mick Foley couldn't wait. He done. And listening to podcasts where he talks right now, just before you called me, my mother called me, and I was like, "How you doing?" And she's having a major problem with her hip, and I said that I would call her after this podcast, and she's it's amazing how it hurts for a while, and then it hurts for a while, and now it's getting to the point where I talk to her, and she's like, it's all encompassing. It's hard to move. It's hard to think. Like, it's constant pain. So she's gonna go get it taken care of, and these surgeries are like miracles these days. My grandmother, before she passed away, she got her knees done, and she went from being immobile to like freaking being like, "You want to race, kiddo?" And it was crazy. It's crazy. So I'm sure my mom's going to be up and about in no time, and I'm sure that the Undertaker, once he fully heals properly, will be able to go marlin fishing with Michelle McCool all he wants, and we'll see secret Instagram pictures of the Undertaker doing his thing with gray hair out there in the world. But unfortunately, these last few performances haven't been that great.
Well, I know. Yeah. Well, I know I want to go marlin fishing with Michelle McCool, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, like even going through it, when you look at it, because we brought up that tag match,
was freaking awesome.
It was freaking awesome though, that tag team ladder match. Like that one part when Cesaro, like when he was on the ladder and then the ladder gets pushed over. Like you almost think he's going to break his ankle there, but he didn't. And then you get, like you said, Big Cass throwing those big boots all over the place. The best boot of the night was when he labeled Jeff Hardy off the top rope.
Jeff was jumping into the ring and he hit him with the boot. Yeah, that was a great one. I think that's the one too that made me say that. I'm like, dude, big boots everywhere.
And I'm going to be honest, like, I'm not a fan of Enzo and Cass. I think that they're highly overrated, but last night they put on a good fight. I like Cass more than Enzo.
Like, if the fact that, Enzo is such a weak link that they can never really get belts, maybe they get him quickly.
Yeah.
He'll make a great manager. But, I know what you mean about not being a big fan. But come on, these guys are almost perfect. Like, he was in developmental for 7 years, the two of those guys. They do not give up when they see dollar signs. And they were like, dude, this massive motherfucker and this freaking... These guys are going to make us some coin, and they did not give up. And now it's pretty good. I like it.
Like they got some good spots and everything, but you know what I want to see? I want to see Cass say, you know what, you're holding me back. And just big boot
that's going to happen.
It's just because...
to happen.
Exactly. I can't wait for that to happen.
They can't. If they have it happen anytime soon, then they're wasting. They need to really establish this tag team for a long time.
The only way it can happen.
And when they are top star, there's going to be a time where it's very obvious that Cass is the man, and that's when it should happen.
My opinion, the time it should happen is basically you get Carmella back with them. Then within a couple of months, that's when you get the Cass turn on them, and Carmella goes with them because like put those three back together because I'd rather see Enzo with Carmella than fucking
I'm not
James
really into
Ellsworth.
Carmella. I would try to be, but I'm not into her. I'm not buying what she's selling.
No, I just mean to help the storyline. Like she's not that very entertaining. She's good looking.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not buying what she's selling. It's very obvious that she's not a bitch, and I'm not buying what Nia Jax is selling too. It's very obvious that this is all bullshit, and you are not a killer in any fact. Yeah,
she's probably
you're a big old sweetie pie. And I just don't buy what she's selling. I just don't. Especially with this whole beautiful eyes thing and it being the focal point of what she is. Like, and I got to admit, even her music, like, I'm not like, no, this guy. I was like, yeah, all right. You know what? Goodbye.
Oh, it's most girls? I thought it said I'm not a monster.
I thought it was a few things, but it's...
Oh, that's what I thought it said. But at least someone's paying attention.
Like, yeah, she's not like most girls.
Okay. I thought it's I'm not a monster.
So crazy shit about wrestling lyrics, and then been like, oh, it's that makes way more sense than the shit I thought.
No, that makes more sense because I'm like, she is a monster. Like she is a very very physical woman. I just wish they had like some more like Awesome Kong because she's awesome.
I don't know why for like a week or two I thought Mrs. Music was I came to beg. Sense the same, but to God, it was like, I came to beg. And I was like, what's he begging for? The fuck?
No, you're right.
Yeah.
When you say it like that, it
So
sounds
there you
like
go.
it.
And again, I can't tell you about songs from the 70s that my parents would listen to, the lyrics were, and I'd get older. I was like, they were saying that? Man, I thought, and then I would think about what I like. I thought it made sense because of this, but that only made sense because I was 6 years old. Now that I think about it, that's crazy shit, and that makes way more sense, the actual lyrics. Here's one example. You know the Dire Straits? Get your money for nothing,
Money
get your
for
chicks
nothing?
for free. My mom used to get checks sent
Yeah.
to our house, like paper checks, and she would say, you order checks, personal checks from the bank, Shay, so they have your name on it, so you don't have to actually write. You just write the amount in, and every checks. And she mentioned them to me about, well, I have to pay for them. I was like, you pay for them? She's like, yes, I order them and I pay for them, so you pay for your checks. And I was like, oh, okay. So I thought, get your money for nothing and get your checks for free. Like you're a big roller. You don't pay for your money. You don't pay for your checks. You don't pay for nothing. And I'm 6 years old thinking, yeah, Dire Straits don't pay for their checks, but my mom does. And now I'm realizing, obviously, they got their chicks for free, which makes more sense. Yes.
Yes. That's
and then there's
hilarious.
many more
That's
examples.
hilarious.
I cannot tell you what I thought some of the Boney M songs were. But yeah, back to Mania in general. I think it was pretty good. The last match, I think we were talking about Enzo and Cass there. I actually disagree with you about the Cass winning a belt of some sort, Cass getting ahead, Enzo turning on him. You need to have the mouthpiece be the heel. He can come up with reasons like blah 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 blah. Everybody loves you. Everything I'm concussions in under 5 years. I'm the one you ain't been nothing. They'll show pictures of him when he's dumpy from like 6-7 years ago. You would have been nothing without my mouth. They would have thrown you out the freaking door. He's like, but I brought you in. Triple H called me, saw a video of me online and called me. And then I said, hey, my buddy Cass. And they saw that you were 7'3". And they were like, yeah, bring him with you. And that's why you're fucking here, because of me. And now nobody talks about me. I'm a shit wrestler. I'm your little cockroach. Fuck you. He's like, here's my new boys, the Authors of Pain. What? Bitch, and that's it. Some shit's gonna go down. So I don't think it'll be Cass turning bad, because they'll have them stay good. They like to have their big boys good. All right, so wait, before we do anything else, Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton, what do you think in general?
Mm-hmm.
In general.
Well, for everything, I like the build up, like what they're going for going into the match, the whole burning down the Wyatt compound, the keep your friends close, your enemies closer mentality. I really like that, but I think Bray Wyatt should have won.
Yeah.
That's how I feel, because with that, the only reason why I say that, because we've seen Orton champion over a dozen times now. Bray Wyatt's fresh. He just won the title back in March, or no, where was
month
it?
ago.
February,
What pay-per-view ago? What pay-per-view
Elimination
ago?
Chamber. Yeah.
He had one
Elimination
defense,
Chamber.
I believe, which was against. He might have had a defense against, I think it was AJ and Randy or something, or.
No, the Harper match wasn't even. The Harper match wasn't even for the title. It was just
in
a match,
general,
I think
a real poopy-doopy shit job by WWE on that shit. Like I said earlier, to poop-paw too much, but the building, it's like they don't know what in the last 6 months. They're building up John Cena, and his 16 and his 16. They've got shirts coming out, 16. And then they quickly, very quietly, in the 16 as it's happening, because they've decided they're changing everything. It's not going to, they're changing direction, so they have him win the belt and then quickly lose the belt. They could have had Bray Wyatt win that shit.
Yeah. What I would have done was Royal Rumble. Instead of Taker being in the Rumble, Taker would have defeated AJ Styles for the championship, and then at WrestleMania, I would have did John Cena.
Yeah,
Undertaker.
that would have been absolutely amazing. But then you don't get this whole proposal shtick, and they're probably getting money from Total Divas.
Yeah, you do. Because he wins the title there, retires the Taker, and proposes to his
there's
girlfriend.
You know what? So much was fucked up.
You were my rock. Every time I was injured, when you were injured, we were there for you.
Did you hear the Brian Alvarez rant where he was like, for what? He basically says it 7 times. He goes, rant. For what? For nothing. At fucking Fastlane. And then rant. For what? For nothing. At fucking Fastlane. Rant that he did, and it was like the whole Bailey thing. He's like, for what? You ruin it. You ruin a WrestleMania opportunity. You ruin the levity behind it all. For nothing. And there was 4 or 5 things. He's like, Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman with
Yep.
the winning streak for nothing. He's like, all this bullshit. He like lost his shit. And Fastlane shat on a lot of ideas.
Well, think about it. When you speak about undefeated streak, Asuka's catching up to Goldberg now, and Goldberg actually acknowledged that on Twitter. When Asuka hit like 145 or something like that, he's like, "You still got a little bit to go till you hit."
His is fake. Hers is real, at least. You know, and the reality is that be tracked for like house show wins. Kevin Nash, he was very open about it. He's like, "Hey man, I had the title for a year up in New York. I defended it 5 nights a week for an entire year." He goes, I didn't lose one of those. So that's way more than your fucking streak. So fuck you. It's all bullshit.
Yeah.
What do you think about the maggots and the bugs and the projection on Randy Orton? He should have sold it or something. Like, what is it about?
He should have. Should have. It was made for TV. Let's just say that moment was made for TV. Because if I was in the crowd watching that, I'd be like, "What the fuck is going on?"
You know, this whole thing with Bray Wyatt and him taking the powers of Undertaker and Kane way back in the day. They wanted to do with the Undertaker coming up to the end. They keep bringing out this old guy.
No.
Even his shtick on the 900th SmackDown, where he's all like, "I'm back," and they're like, "No, you're not. You were gone. You didn't come back." Shit. All of it's bullshit. They keep changing ideas, and then had him gone Roman.
Yeah, then he became a Raw guy. And that's another thing, too. How about, like, basically it felt like every match on the card was a Raw match. Like, the SmackDown Tag Team Championship wasn't even defended on the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
All their tag teams were in the friggin' Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal because they had nobody on the roster.
Before, that was...
Oh, of course.
Okay, so we're good.
What? Okay, I'm watching WrestleMania right now. Jimmy Fallon just did the... Like, they're just showing Jimmy Fallon. And he showed that he was doing a Snapchat on his phone. How the hell did he get an Undertaker Snapchat
I don't know.
filter?
I actually kind of like Jimmy Fallon. I don't know.
I'm kind of pissed off that I didn't get anything like that.
It's like I'll go back to the Undertaker stuff where it's just they could have done a lot of different things with him. But when he lost... One thing, it took me an entire year to feel it. When he lost to Lesnar, it wasn't until the next WrestleMania when the aisle to face Bray Wyatt, and I was with my buddies, and I turned to them, and I was all like, "This is fucking brilliant. This is brilliant." And they're like, "What?" And I'm like, "I give a shit about this match. Can the old fuck the Undertaker? He's finally lost his shit. He's an old fuck. Can one more WrestleMania match?" I'm like, holy shit, I give a fuck about this suddenly. This is great. I wouldn't have given a fuck if he hadn't lost last year, because we would know that he wasn't going to lose this year either. The streak's alive. It's almost like, it's more the spectacle of the Undertaker being there rather than him winning or losing. But now, against Bray Wyatt, what the fuck's going to happen? So, I remember digging that, actually. Yeah, they should have done, there's so much they could have done with this Undertaker thing.
I say that so much for Bray Wyatt. Did you know that Bray Wyatt is 0-3 at WrestleMania? So for Goldberg, it's who's next. For Bray Wyatt, it's who's
man.
first.
That's really unfortunate. Oh, hey, he's been a heel.
I like Bray Wyatt. That's why I bring it up. I really do like Bray Wyatt.
So NXT, although you did not watch.
I watched NXT. Well, I watched some of it. I missed like the matches I watched was I had to watch Ty Dillinger and the 8-man tag match. I had to watch that.
Here's
that was good. Then I also watched Nakamura against Bobby Roode, because that was just an awesome match.
NXT, the purpose of it is they're developmental to create their own stars. They truly believe they can do this.
Yeah.
They also need to bring in and teach them the WWE way of doing things. But if you take a look at that pay-per-view, they keep taking away, like they don't have any of their big stars there, really. Not really.
Yeah.
They've got...
Well, Bobby Roode's pretty good.
Not an NXT guy.
I like Bobby
need to
Roode.
focus what I'm saying a little bit more.
No.
My point is, No Way Jose.
No, you mean guys that are
like opening
NXT
match,
developmentals.
No Way Jose
Like, not guys that were picked up from
No Way Jose
TNA
is
or
out,
anything like
and the
that.
entire side, it's all existing indie wrestlers. You got Ruby Riott, Heidi Lovelace, you've got Ty, Sean Spears, you've got Chris Hero, and you've got Roderick Strong, who is going to like totally flounder, unfortunately, in the WWE. And then the other side, you've got Alexander Wolf and freaking Face. They're the only developmental people in the entire match, and I'm really glad to see that Killian Dane, Big Dano. I hate that they rename guys. I'm glad to see he went over, wins with his little one-winged. He's in the Andre the Giant Battle Memorial, but Battle Royal, and does a great job in there, which you haven't seen, but yes. You did? Okay.
Well, I saw that part, the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. I watched all of WrestleManias, not all of NXT. But to me, like...
then the rest of the card's the same.
Fuck, like, I love EY. Like, I love EY, and the fact that he's doing the Sanity thing, like, it's cool because it's something that Triple H wanted. Like, EY is going to be huge in WWE.
Great content.
It's just...
not from their system.
Like, EY would have been awesome at WrestleMania. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, go through the matches. Who was next? There was no... Ember Moon did a great job. Again, number 3. So you got Nikki Cross, you got Alexander Wolf, you got Ember Moon. There was another... The chick match. What was the chick match? Oh, that was the chick match.
Well, the TNA when they went to the like when they did the brand extension WWE, the NXT roster is just depleted. They picked apart.
Yeah, and that's why they're bringing
NXT
guys
roster.
in. But
like think about it. Like even Austin Aries is taken off of it.
So
like Aries is gone. Friggin' who else is gone? Off of it. Enzo and Cass is gone off. Alexa Bliss. Yeah, Carmella.
It's a very different product.
So many people have just been taken away. But and those are the people that were really shining last night. Were a lot of the NXT stars.
We'll see what happens in the future WWE.
And I'm shocked Finn Balor and Samoa Joe did not have a fucking match. And I'm surprised Samoa Joe did not even have a match on the card.
Well, that was a little odd. But hey, man.
Like did he even show up during the Triple H match?
Nothing. So.
Exactly.
Who knows? But neither was Rusev. Rusev broke his nose in there. Who knows what's going on with?
Yeah, but I understand Rusev. But Samoa Joe, you have Finn Balor back, who was on multiple house shows before
Joe
happened, and yet
for himself,
he wasn't even a match.
Like he's got a home in WWE for life. He's going to be Performance Center type. He was running the New Japan Dojo in LA when they had it, when like the American version they have here. So he's not going anywhere, and I'm sure he's like, hey, you want to be in the Battle Royal, or you want to wait till next year when we're going to give you a fucking match, like a real match? He's probably like, yeah, don't worry about it. Like, But
like I want but they have enough time like for how long that pay-per-view was. Like they had enough time to fit in a Finn Balor Samoa Joe
really
match.
You think they could have had enough?
Yeah, because they could have took away from the pre-show and could have put like one of those
IC match in the pre-show. That's the match I actually didn't see.
Oh, they were pissed. You could tell when you watched that match that Dean Ambrose and Baron Corbin were pissed. They were bumped off the main card and put on.
Yeah, for the girl match, for the SmackDown chick match,
which was sloppy. That match was sloppy.
Women's wrestling, even though there's a revolution.
Well, not even no. There's some women's wrestlers that are good, but that match was just like it was just very sloppy.
I find women's wrestling.
It was very sloppy.
In general, it is. There's just something about it where it's like, what's going on with this? Like, it never seems tight. It never seems right. I don't know what's wrong.
It seems rushed. A lot of times it seems like they rush their spots. Because, like, in all fairness, like, they don't really get a chance to showcase their talents, so that's why.
Yeah. So Lesnar and Goldberg were right. Oh, no, that was the girl match came before that.
Lesnar and Goldberg was a good match. But it was perfectly booked how they did it.
All right. Well, you want to talk about anything else, Chris?
Well, we can talk about that. What did you think about Lesnar and
we talked about it earlier, and I think it was pretty much in a lot.
Oh yeah, shit.
A lot of ways, it's just what you feel like unfortunately on Raw, their titles are a little skewed right now. I mean, I guess you needed to put the title of it since you've already seen it 3 times. Yeah. When you live inside the WWE bubble, to really. And so they're like, oh no, you need the title for it to mean something, and it has to be Roman Reigns in the main event, and all this shit. But this was a great match. Even though Goldberg has shut down all the naysayers, so I was he's blown up. I'm like, no, he's not. He's popping up to his feet just because he's sweating. It's not a first sweat match, man. Like he's always been a sweaty dude. This is what happens. He's healthy. He perspires. He eats good food. Whatever. He goes. He went. He got up, no sold, hit him with the spear, and ended up looking really strong, losing the title. And I don't think anybody was expecting that out of this match.
Well, going into this, I thought it was going to be a good match because before they, with that folly, like with WrestleMania 20, they want to get that stigma away from them. Like they want to get that so far away from anything.
I actually do have a problem with the match. Now that I think about it, I remember saying I was. It was a good, I guess, a match. How long? But I turned to my dad. I was like, dude, he really does only have 2 moves. I was like, I love busts out that rolling leg lock, or he has a cup. Yeah,
Goldberg was awesome back in WCW.
Just have a lot of powerful moves. He would toss the guy across the ring, very much like how Brock Lesnar does, and he would do that that almost jack toss the guy and follow him in with his body weight. He had a lot of interesting moves. The back spinning kick and shit to the guys' heads. Very much like how Aleister Black's finishing move now. He would pull that off on guys, wham! So, I don't know. I want to see more Goldberg, not more Lesnar. I love Lesnar, but, I don't know. This was good. I think it was good. I just wish that he literally did do nothing but spears and jackhammer. Me, a bit of a, I don't want to say, it was a detractor because anytime that I defend him, people are going to be like, he's only got 2 moves. And I'm like, I can't say anything. I can't be like, you're wrong. I have to be like, yes, you're right. Yeah, I guess, did he punch?
Punch is a move.
But I have to go into debate mode where I say, yeah, you're right. He only has 2 moves, and look how much money he makes, and look how great he is, and blah blah blah. Look at how much he can do with so little. So fuck you. If you were that old and making that much money, how many bumps do you want to take? He even did an interview beforehand where Kurt Hennig's kid, where Curtis Axel went out to train with him, and one of the headlines tried to demonize him, like Goldberg won't take bumps, and he was like, listen, I'm a tough guy. I'm bumps before. I don't need to bump around. We'll go through the moves and we'll lock up and we'll do a lot of training here, but I don't need him to throw me around and body slam me. When the time comes, I'll take the hit and we'll go from there. And he took how many freaking suplexes, and he was still good to go. And I'm sure he walked into the back, shrugged it off. Where's the masseuse? Let's do this. It was done. So I want to see more Goldberg, personally.
Yeah. Well, Brock Lesnar is not Brock Lesnar. Goldberg's a fucking beast. They both are. But, it's funny because right now, Kevin Owens was the Universal Champion. He was getting booked as if he was a pussy champion. But now when you think about it, will Brock Lesnar even be there tonight? And you're going to have Kevin Owens defending his title on every single show. You know what I mean? Kevin Owens is going to be there. If what the WWE a rumor has it that they're going to go with Lesnar as champion for the entire year and then drop it to Brock.
Yeah, but who knows
Roman
if that'll
Reigns.
actually happen? But yes, I've heard that rumor too. And yeah, a lot of shows. The US
I hope it doesn't
have
happen.
a lot of levity behind it.
Yeah, so Kevin Owens is going to, and that's the guy you want to put that title
Same
on.
spot he was right before.
Yeah, except now he's on the second tier title, but he's going to get treated like the main event instead of him having the main event title and getting treated like.
That's that job. And so big deal. Supposedly, his contracts go Mania to Mania, or 2 or 3 years or whatever.
Yeah, he's smart.
Yeah,
Lesnar's a smart man.
Now, is not some more dates, a lot more dates. He's going to be the champ. He's gonna represent. So I'm down with that.
If they can get him for every pay-per-view, that'd be awesome.
And I love seeing him wreck guys, and I should do that. Nothing impressive. It is unfortunate that the WWE World Champion is a dude who Lesnar destroyed back at SummerSlam. Randy Orton, I don't
Yes.
know why my mind lost a lot that day. He looked impressive as he was beating on Lesnar, but unfortunately none of it did anything.
Yeah. Randy Orton should not be the champion right now. It should be Bray Wyatt. Like, I guarantee you, Orton was trying to get Bray Wyatt to go over in that match, but Vince just said, "No, Randy, we gotta
You're the face of WWE.
Yeah. Well, think about it. Now that's Randy Orton's 13th title run.
14th.
Yeah. So now he's 3 away from. So now he's 2 away from tying John Cena. And I rather see John. I hate if anyone's going to beat Ric Flair's record, I'd rather see it done by Randy Orton, a guy who's actually a good wrestler. He's a good wrestler. Like, I'm going to give Randy Orton credit where it's due because third generation superstar.
Yeah, he's
the
amazing.
Guy knows what he's doing, and the fact that Bray Wyatt just can't win a match to save his life.
Unfortunately, taken what really powerful and money making guy and kind of wrecked it. But hey, whatever.
Oh, I want to see Wyatt versus AJ Styles. But now we're going to get Orton versus Styles, which is not going to be bad either.
And there was something you were saying there, where I kind of wanted to rebuke. Oh, the 16-time things. You know what? That's only the official number WWE shoves in your face. Flair's like 22.
Exactly.
And he's lost. Lost it to the Dragon. What's his fucking name? I can't believe it's Fujinami.
Yeah.
And then gets it back. And so official shit. They don't give a the industry matter. What does that matter? As long as you're getting recognized. So, and it's a different world.
Mm-hmm. Well, think about it. Jerry Lawler, what is he, like a 40-time champion? And if you want to look at shit like guys like out of the indie scene, like how many times like guys like Conor O'Connell, how many indie titles does that guy have? He's probably won
but
he's
it's
like
not
a 40-time champion.
Title, but still.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, you're right. I didn't think of it like that. No, you're 100%.
But hey, it is what it is. I can't.
Yeah.
Randy Orton is champion. So be it. One match we didn't expect as he looked, and I kind of like marked out for a minute.
Yeah.
But with the match itself, what'd you think of that match?
I liked it. Well, Triple H over the past couple of years, excluding last year because I can't stand Roman Reigns, but excluding last year, Triple H, he's been a great guy at WrestleMania. Like his match with Daniel Bryan puts Daniel Bryan over. His match with friggin' last night with Seth Rollins puts Rollins over. Like Triple H, he does what's best for business. I hate using that phrase, but he does. Then that guy, he's in awesome shape.
Yeah, like
he knows what he's doing.
Playground. That was a very obvious example of playground time,
Yes.
Except
I gotta sue him for likeness rates because there's only one bald, bearded guy, and that's me.
Well, go talk to him about it.
Yeah. I will. And I'll tell him, hey, like, Michael Cole's making this much money. I'll do it for $10,000 less.
Chris.
So if you're paying Cole $50,000, I'll do it for $40,000. Put the extra 10 in your pocket or towards the roster. I don't care.
That sounds like a deal. I'd be in on that. Classic Chris. Poor Mauro Ranallo supposedly getting JB because he bullied him.
Which is ridiculous. That pissed me off that he has not been on for a while.
He's been getting bullied. He's got bipolar. He's got issues. His dream job has never want to go into anymore.
Well, he needs to get some medicinal marijuana, move to Colorado, cure that anxiety. You fuck over that bully JBL.
Yeah,
fuck JBL.
Too bad.
Like the guy only got over as being acting like Donald Trump when he was trying to send all the Mexicans back out of
Yeah, he was what he was at the time. It was great. I love how they still call him the longest rating SmackDown champion of all time. Like it is something. It's funny to me, but that's
exactly.
Great. It's too bad that he's such a douche. It seems.
Exactly, because I like Ronaldo.
Sorry, did you hear that? Yeah.
Unfortunately. Yeah, because he's so rich. No, it's unfortunate.
He doesn't give a fuck.
It's ridiculous. So, before we wrap things up, though, what did you feel about WrestleMania and the weekend as a whole? What did you think?
If you were a wrestling fan and you were in Orlando, dude, you must have had a real good time. There was a lot happening, dude. I ran, crazy shit, man. On the Thursday before, there was a show. I think it's run by trying to remember who's running that one, but Dan Severn took on Matt Riddle. Yes.
Oh, Dan
Of
Severn's
course, you and I,
awesome.
we've worked with Severn at Crossfire. And I
Yes.
chatted with him on the phone.
Yes.
He's absolutely incredible, dude. But Matt Riddle, you know who he is?
Yeah.
It's Dan Severn and that shit. So if you were in town all week with access and all that stuff, man, you had a great time.
You had a good
WrestleMania
time.
was awesome. I don't think if you're a
Yeah.
real super mark, it probably wasn't the best show of the weekend. But I'm going to hang up on you versus Goldberg for the first time with commentary.
Well, hold on. Before we get to that, you're out of Toronto with Hogtown. Let people know about the next Hogtown coming up. So I'm sure people listening, they're probably intrigued because they can go to the Hogtown YouTube channel or they can check it out on Rogers TV.
First, here, folks, we got a promo that's going to drop on YouTube in the next 48 hours. But if you are a classic Chris podcast fan, you are going to hear this first. It is VCW Super Slam 5 coming to you from Lee Sunday, June 4th. It is the first taping. Some of the matches will be the first tapings for season 6 on Rogers TV, and it is to crown the first ever Hogtown Pro Television champion. It's going to be off the hook. You can get tickets online within 48 hours when that promo goes up. You can get probably early bird tickets for a first week. And a show that I'm working with very, very closely, Vampire Invasion, the stars of Lucha Underground, coming to Toronto, also at Lee's Palace 1 week beforehand, May 28th. So you can go to that show, and it will be the only place you can get half Hogtown Pro. We'll be selling them at that show, and who knows who from that show will be later. It's going to be the biggest show we've put on in about a year and a half. And, you don't want to kayfabe out or tell people about stuff, but I'm not trying to get people to come. But if you like my product or you like this product, this is going to be a show you really shouldn't miss.
Oh, it's a very entertaining product. Check it out on the YouTube channel Hogtown Pro Wrestling.
Yeah,
Hogtown Wrestling,
Hogtown
or
Pro
is it
on Twitter, on Facebook, Hogtown Pro, on just about everything. You look for Hogtown Pro, you will find it.
Yes. Make sure you pick up your tickets if you're in the Toronto area. You're not going to be disappointed. I'm Classic Chris with Hutch Henries.
Thank you so much for inviting me, Chris.
It's been fun.
Enjoy Raw. It's going to be a great Raw tonight.
It's been fun. Oh, yes. It's going to be the best Raw of the year. We're going to get you on another show again for sure. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I'm Classic Chris, and this has been Wrestling Talk.